Hello everyone, this is a video on the changes to the crafting system I would make. First of all, the most annoying of them all, this would also include making the food here in the system, is the fact that like some of them, like here it says 2x and you have to do it one at a time. I mean, in Valheim there's already a, like they already know that they can put it in the game where you can, you know, craft multiples of one item if given the chance. But like bronze is the only one where you're allowed to do that. Well, everything else you have to do one at a time. Now, when it comes to like building your weapons and armor, that doesn't really matter because you only want one of them anyways. But when it comes to materials like bronze and iron, and some other stuff like these payloads that you use for, or like even like all the arrows, like the arrows for your bows, the crossbow, even like these bombs as well, and the payloads like these right here, and the payloads for the catapults or for the ballista as well, or making chests and chests full of food. It would just be a really simple change that I would make. I understand that they're probably not too concerned about that because the game is in beta and they want to finish it first, which is the game is amazing, but it's a little lifestyle change that I would change. Another thing about the crafting system is these workbenches. As you can see, there's quite a bit of them, which is kind of annoying how many you need, especially if you want to build a base. You need to have, like, if you want to build a base like this, you're gonna need to have a black forge, a crafting table, and a stone cutter, all littered around the board and moved around too, because this base is too big for just one of each. Something that could be done is just once you get to the Mistlands and have the ingredients to make the black forge, have it replace the forge. So that way you no longer need to have both. You can just do you can craft the same material in the black forge as you can in the forge, and also building materials as well, like this door here, or the lanterns, or like even these reinforcements here, the ironwood reinforcements. You can like have it as a forge upgrade to, like, the forge could be made with like some copper, some of the whatever the black forge is made out of, I forget what. And then that way it would make things a lot easier when it comes to like consolidating and not needing so much space for all these components and things like this. You can do the same thing with the workbench as well. You can have the workbench be upgraded to like the stone cutter workbench once you get the iron to make the stone cutter, and then from there you can it could be upgraded to the artisan workbench. So that way you can build all the stuff that you could with the stone cutter, the workbench, and the artisan bench in one go. So you only really need the artisan table, or the artisan workbench, and the black forge in order to create an awesome base, instead of having all of them scattered around. We're not really talking about the Galar table because, yeah, it's its own separate thing. Who knows if they're gonna put new things or more things with that, but so far it's not really used for. It's just too much clutter, because like say for example, if you need to go and build a stone base in some other location, you're gonna need to take workbench material, you're gonna need to take stone cutter material, and you're gonna have to take forge material. That is if you want a stone roof. If you just want stone walls, then of course just workbench and stone cutter. When they could put these together into one table and just make it the stone cutter workbench or something like that, and that way you can still do all the other things that you could with the workbench and the stone cutter combined, and of course evolving to artisan. It will just make crafting, building, and easier. Another thing that is a little bit annoying, as you saw, that I had a bit difficulty looking for the things that I wanted to here. Um, they need to find a way where you can like type here, for example, the little empty space here. You can type in like armor, and it'll just load up all the armor that you can build in the workbench. Or you can type in arrow, and it gives you all the arrows if you have the, if you discovered the components to make those arrows, or axe, or bomb, or payload, or bow. It'll give you all the bows, knives, shield, saddles, and that way it'd be easier to look for things as well. You can do the same thing with the forge, where you can just look up armor, and it'll give you the helmets, the leggings, the tunics, all of it. So that way it'd be a little easier on, to like search for items instead of like scrolling through here and trying to find something. I understand they have this kind of organized where it's like, okay, you have your leggings, you have your breastplates right here, then you're gonna move down to your arrows, then you have your one of this type of weapon. It's not a spear, but whatever. And you have your axes right there in alphabetized, obviously. So the new Ashlands axes are actually on top of the old Mistland axe. And then you have the random bell in here. It's not random. It's for the Ashland boss. But then you have your bolts and arrows. You have your bolts and arrows, or just your bolts, excuse me. Then you have your bows right here, and then moves down to the cape. And then you have your crossbow, your helmets, your one knife, and then again, like, it's just a little bit difficult to look for stuff because they're not alphabetized. You have to remember the order that they're in. Like if you want your sword, obviously it's gonna be the very, very bottom. You have your Slayer, your Nidhogg, your Mistwalker, your Crom. If you want your spear, you have them right on top of your swords. I mean, the same goes with the crafting of the food in the cauldron. It is alphabetized somewhat because you have, of course, the raw fish is just really considered fish. And so, like, if you're looking for fish and you're like, oh, it's alphabetized, let me go down to, the R's. Oh wait, it's not here. Oh wait, it's up here with the F's. And same thing with like the uncooked stuff. The uncooked fish and bread, it's just fish and bread. The uncooked honey glazed chicken. So like all these uncooked materials, you really just see the uncooked. Also, I'm not sure like if you can make this bigger or not, so you can actually read the whole text here instead of just reading meat base and then like the first word, and then you have to like understand what you're looking for as well. This can also have a little text box where you can type in meads and they'll show you the meads. And you can type in like health based and it'll give you all the health based foods, stamina based foods, ether based foods. You can just type it in there, ether, and it'll give you all the ether based foods that you can create, all the stamina and whatnot. It would make things more streamlined and a bit easier to look for things. Another thing when it came to that I didn't realize it was a problem until you reach the Ashlands is the text showing up on the top left corner of the game here when you pick up a new material. While you're just playing the game, when you pick up wood, it gives you a small text of stuff. But once you reach to this point of the game, and when you reach the Ashlands, it's a bit hectic. I had the experience of making it to where there's 2 monuments of torment within like just a few meters from each other, and that's what I had to deal with on top of like the other things coming in to attack you. So I picked up like the bones, I picked up Groston, and I picked up the wood, the ashen wood, and then you had the pop-ups come up and it would not stop. It just kept going and going, and it took a big chunk of space here to see what I was trying to do and avoid being hidden stuff. It would be nice if it just showed up a small text, not even small, it could take up about this much space, saying new crafting items available. And it could even just stay here, if anything. And then when you come back to your, like, when you open up your hammer, it will do something like this. Like, oh, like, I would love for the new crafting recipes that you find be highlighted, so you would know, oh, this one's a new one, oh, this one's a new one, this one's a new one, this one's a new one, and go like, oh, these are the new ones and stuff like that. Or like even when it comes to like the new items you can build in the crafting tables, where it has a little star or it's highlighted, where you can see, oh, these are the new items, and you can click on them and be like, oh, that's very interesting, instead of having a bunch of pop-up text come up, the amount of items that show up when you're, yeah, I find that annoying. Besides that, I think those would be the changes I would make, just in the crafting section, because there's just a few things that I find a little bit annoying that could be workshopped and done better. Besides that, thank you for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Peace.